Hello, I am Dorothea Dix. I was the advocate for the mentally ill and head of nurses in the Civil War. I was born in Maine in 1802, and my father was an itinerant preacher. My mother was very sickly. I had two brothers whom I practically raised myself. Eventually, however, I did go to live with my grandparents where I was educated, and at the tender age of 14 became a teacher. I started some schools for the poor in Massachusetts where I lived, and Boston specifically, and later on found my real calling, which was, as I said at first, I became an advocate for people who had mental illness. It was heartbreaking to discover the way they were treated and the way they were kept at that time, treated as though they had no feelings, hidden under staircases, and oh, there's my little dog, but in staircases and chained to walls. And so I made trips all throughout the country, over 60,000 miles in all, figuring out how to get people to build hospitals for these unfortunates. I was personally responsible for the establishment of 32 hospitals and later of St. Elizabeth's Federal Hospital, which I think will probably be in existence for a very long time. In addition to this exhausting work, but very satisfying, I also served as the head of nurses during the Civil War for the Sanitary Commission. It was my job not only to get nurses, but to make sure all the correct supplies got out, to look at the various hospitals and make sure that there were no individuals who were not running them as they should be. And so, in the end, after the war, I returned to my work for the mentally ill, and ultimately, in 1881, I retired to Trenton Hospital for the mentally ill, which I called my first child because it was the first major institution that was built through my efforts. And so I hope you'll want to know more about me and about my story, and we'll be in touch. I hope our paths cross again. Goodbye.